the strongest fighting force this planet has ever seen. Because these terrorist groups, they're laughing at us. They're laughing at Obama's weak foreign policies. These drone strikes, well, I think drone strikes are great. I think we should be utilizing our technological superiority over these terrorist groups like ISIS. We should be absolutely utilizing every advantage we have over them. But I believe that we are not doing enough, and we are not speaking from strength as a nation of our caliber should. And that's all I need to say about that.
Secretary Clinton.
Well, bringing this question up also brings up immigration and refugees. This topic of immigration has shadowed over America for years, for decades. In the past, the issue has been bipartisan, and it was actually President Reagan that signed the bill that tightened border security, but also provided amnesty for many Americans. I think with ISIS, with the Syrians, refugees, and things like that, we need to secure our border, but we also need to allow these refugees in.
Yeah.
Throughout my campaign, I've met with several people, including a young woman named Carla. And Carla is an American citizen, but her parents, they're not. And she's scared that her parents are going to be left out to dry and deported if Trump becomes president, because he said that he was going to deport every single illegal immigrant, whether it was, I don't know how he's going to do it, with ships, planes, I don't know, but he said he was going to deport every illegal immigrant, which there's 11 million of them. That would mean an extreme presence of law enforcement necessary to remove 11 million immigrants, and I believe in using our resources where they're most needed, and I don't think that's where they're most needed.
Mr. Trump.
I'm glad you brought up immigration, Ms. Clinton. In fact, because immigration is an issue that has always been on the forefront of my campaign since the very beginning. Immigration is something that I am willing to tackle with strength, and something that I am willing to face with certainty throughout my years as president. Now, I don't know where you got your source about deporting 11 million illegal immigrants, but 11 million people, I hope you're aware, are in this country by illegal means.
I would like to remind each candidate, both Hillary and Trump, it was on terrorism, not on immigration. But I will allow you to finish.
Let me finish?
I will allow you to finish.
Now, these illegal immigrants, they are coming from the Middle East. They are coming from Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, Syria. These countries have the highest concentration of radical Islamic terrorists in the world. These countries are high risk, and as president, I will shut down immigration from these high-risk areas, not to all people of the Islamic faith, because I accept all faiths equally, but I will cut down completely on immigration from these high-risk countries.
Is that why you call Hispanic men hombres?
As you can see, I refer to myself as an hombre.
Go ahead, Mrs.
The topic of ISIS, as many of you probably know, I'm implementing a plan in the first 100 days, but I think most importantly with ISIS and the whole Syrian refugee, that goes hand in hand. And immigration is a huge, huge problem in this country. And I think that is what needs to be addressed. And Donald Trump, I don't know where he's getting his facts either, but he does want to deport the
Why aren't you stopping her from twisting
immigrants.
the subject here?
Since we're on the topic of immigration, what do you plan to do to stop the flow of illegal immigrants into the United States if you become the president of this nation? Mrs. Clinton.
My thing with the illegal immigrants is I think we need to give them an easier route. I don't know if you guys have taken the placement test to become a citizen, but it's very difficult. I think that not only if your child is a citizen like Carla's was, and her parent was deported, what's that going to do to the family? I'm a strong advocate for family values and women's values, and I think that plays a big part in that as well.
Mr. Trump.
You know, these people are coming over here, and they're coming over here without going through the proper channels. Do we really want a flood of people that are not even committed enough to the ideals of America, the ideals of our country, that they can't even be bothered to work to get in? Because I've taken the citizenship test, Ms. Clinton, and I passed it. I can't speak for you, but I passed it. And these people are coming in and they don't care about our ideals. They don't care about the things that make America America. All they care about is taking their money and sending it back to their country. They're playing us like chumps.
Where's your money
They're playing
coming
us
from?
for fools. My money comes from American business.
Not taxing the rich.
Mrs. Clinton, please let Donald Trump speak.
Thank you. I appreciate that rare show of fairness.
Continue. I would like to remind the audience to please not applaud. Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Trump.
Anyway, where was I before that outburst? I believe that these people coming into the country, I believe that people should be allowed to come into our country. Our country is a wonderful melting pot of all different races and creeds, but you have got to do it through the proper channels. My own wife, Melania Trump, who is here in the audience tonight, she emigrated from Russia, but she came through the proper channels, and she and my entire family are citizens. Now, as president, I've already said that I will put extreme vetting against immigrants from the Middle East, and I'm sure you've all heard of my famous wall, my border wall. We will build it, and Mexico will pay for it, because they're sending us their criminals, they're sending us their drug dealers, they're sending us their worst, they're sending us some good people, but these good people, let me stress, are not coming in illegally. They
Are the
coming
Mexicans
in.
going to build it?
Mrs. Clinton,
These people are coming in through the proper
Donald
channels.
Trump, your time
The
is
people that are coming in illegally
Mr. Trump.
are criminals.
Mr. Trump.
They're drug dealers. If
Secretary
you'll let me
Clinton.
finish,
Yes.
your time to respond.
Well, with immigration and your wall plan, I'm not sure how exactly that's going to work. With a lot of your policies, I don't know how they're going to work. But with
that speaks to your intelligence, Ms. Clinton.
Mr. Trump,
With the immigration, I fully support Syrian refugees coming in. Not saying I defend ISIS, but I believe that we need to take out ISIS, and the Syrian refugees who are coming in deserve a home, deserve a chance. I am a firm believer in education, which goes to that, and everyone having their fair share to grow and have the potential that everyone in America does.
Mr. Trump,
It's interesting that you support these Syrian immigrants so boldly, because I'm sure you are committed to fighting ISIS. I'm sure you're very committed to fighting ISIS once they find their way to our country. And I'm sure you're very committed to fighting them right here at home once you've let them in.
our next segment will be education and health. Mr. Trump, how do you plan to bring the U.S. to the forefront of education?
You know, the U.S. has, for a long time, been one of the top providers of education, not just through our public school system, but also through our charter schools, our private schools, our institutions just like this one. You know, I look out across this audience and I see the future of America. I see future lawyers, doctors, governors, presidents even. And that is why my campaign is committed to working with Congress to ensure a way that brings down the price of college while still allowing these schools to stay profitable as businesses, because that's what a college is. It's a business. This is not a handout that you are entitled to, but this is a business. And I want every young person in America, should they choose it, to be able to go to college, to be able to go to a private school if they can afford it, as I was, to be able to go to a trade school and go directly into their field, which I think is tremendous. I think trade schools are a tremendous asset to our country and to our economy. And that is, once again, why I am for ensuring that attending a 2 or 4-year institution or trade school will be easier to pay for. As president, one of the first things I will do is sit down with Congress, sit down with the various foundations and organizations that work with schools, and we will find a way to bring down the cost of education, all while raising the quality of our education. Because these Asian nations like Japan, like China, what they are doing is they are focusing on their education to a degree that they're attempting to surpass us. And they will not surpass us, because I'm going to make America great again, and I'm going to make us the smartest nation you've ever seen. Now, if I could just add on very quickly that while I do support these school choice, I support school choice firmly, but Hillary Clinton is very clearly an outspoken enemy of school choice, and you can see it in the donors to her campaign. The American Federation of Teachers, while it sounds like some fantastic group.
Mr. Trump,
They have a
your time
super
is
PAC
almost up.
that is the largest
Secretary
opponent
of
of school
State, your
choice.
time to go.
You said my time was almost up and immediately cut me off.
Your time is
Let
up.
me finish.
Your time is
Let
up.
me finish.
Your
My time is up because you're interrupting me.
Secretary Clinton, please
Let the
go.
nasty woman talk. Okay. Well, I don't disagree with everything on this subject that my opponent's saying, but I believe that the nation starts with our children. I believe that every child deserves a chance to live up to their God-given potential. I believe getting off to a good start should be our children's birthright. Every child should have the tools and skills to thrive in tomorrow's economy, especially the children from our most vulnerable and risk communities. My career has been at the forefront for fighting for children and working families. I will make preschool universal for every 4-year-old in America, and I will significantly increase the percent of its income to afford high-quality care. I will improve the quality of child care and early living by giving a raise to America's child care force, and I will double the investment in the Early Head Start and Early Head Start Partnership Program. My plan includes all community college will offer free tuition. Every student should have the option to graduate from a public college or university in their state without having to face student debt like a lot of us are doing today.